Just off to the left, the little statue you'll see is George Washington, the first president of America. He doesn't stand on British soil. They brought soil over especially for him from Virginia, just so he can stand on American soil, which is quite funny for us because his family from Kent, so down in the south. Off to the right, you have Charing Cross Station. Now this is one of 13 main termini, bringing 1 million people into London, Monday to Friday, every day to work. Off to the left, Coutts the bank. If you want to belong to Coutts, then you must have £1 million in your current account, right, before they let you be a member of Coutts. It's the Queen's Bank, by the way, but we're in the Strand. It's an old English word, it means beach. So behind the buildings on the right you'll find the River Thames, and off to the left hand side the theatres behind here, Covent Garden. So Love Never Dies off to the left, In a Forest Dark and Deep, starring Matthew Fox from Lost, sort of American television. Just off to the right you've got Legally Blonde the musical, so that's doing really well. But if you look immediately left now down Southampton Street, you'll look up to Covent Garden Market. Used to be fruits and flowers, now it's a sort of general market. And down to the right you've got the entrance to the Savoy, so that looks like the front of a Rolls-Royce car. The Savoy has just been redecorated and recently reopened. Again, a very popular place if you want to stay in London. The Savoy is one of the most popular hotels. As we come down, all the theatres are on the left hand side, but immediately what you can see on the left is the Lyceum. Currently showing there is the Lion King, the musical, Disney's musical, The Lion King. Yes. And then as we go around, you will see a street called Drury Lane. At the far end is the Theatre Royal Drury Lane, which is where Shrek the Musical is currently showing. On the corner you've got Betty Blue Eyes, and also Dirty Dancing. So a series of theatres as we go around through the lights. Immediately on the left, the Lion King, and then you've got all the other theatres. The Theatre Royal Drury Lane is the oldest theatre in London. It dates back, well, in its current site, to 1660. The actual theatre you'll see there is the third one on the site, because every other one burnt down. But it's 19th century theatre, and it's haunted. If the show is a hit, the man in grey will appear. He's a ghost of a figure they discovered buried up, walled up in a wall, who'd been stabbed through the chest, and he's still in tattered grey outfit. So if it's a hit, he will appear. Nobody's seen him yet, so we'll see what happens. So as we come round, you've got Betty Blue Eyes the musical. And then if you look to the left and look down, you'll see Shrek the Musical, which is down there as well. And then on the corner, as I said, Dirty Dancing. Usually about 95% of the audience for this show are female, and usually of a certain age. So Dirty Dancing on the left. Off to the left, it'll take you up the Kingsway, up to the British Museum, the museum of every culture that has ever been or is today. Off to the right, you've got Bush House, which is where the World Service goes out in 42 different languages around the world. Are any of you Harry Potter fans?
Yes.
No?
Yes. Yes.
If you are, on the right, this building here is Australia House. Now, in the first movie, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, as it's called here, this is Gringotts Bank. So the interior is Gringotts Bank. Alright. As we come through, we're coming into and heading towards the City of London. London's actually two cities in one. We've been in the 1,000-year-old city, the City of Westminster, but this is the 2,000-year-old city we're approaching. Off to the left, the Royal Courts of Justice at the Strand. If you have an appeal against a criminal conviction or civil case, then it will be heard here. So in the past we've had Elton John, George Michael, Catherine Zeta-Jones and Michael Douglas, Sir Paul McCartney, all going to court here. So we're going to be entering the city. And as we do so, we pass the column immediately on the right-hand side. If the Queen comes to the City of London, she has to stop and ask permission to enter. It dates back to the 11th century, when a king called William I conquered the country but not London. Off to the right, Fleet Street is the street we're in, but that building, that black and white timber building, Prince Henry's room, you come back, walk through the gates there, when they're open Monday to Friday. It'll take you down to a 12th century church, the Temple Church, that appeared in a movie called The Da Vinci Code a few years ago. It's the Church of the Knights Templar. Templars. But Fleet Street is basically the area of the newspaper industry once upon a time, known as the Streets of Shame. Today, there is nothing to do with the newspaper industry here. They all moved out in the 1980s due to a certain gentleman called Rupert Murdoch. But it's where you'll find one of the oldest pubs in London. If you look on the left, there's a shop called Paul's, which is a sandwich bar. Just next to it, Oliver Bonas, and then you've got Ye Olde Cheshire Cheese. This dates back to 1667. And it's frequented by very, very famous authors, including Charles Dickens, Mark Twain, the man who wrote the first dictionary, Dr. Samuel Johnson. If you go down into the basement, you'll find the remains of a 13th century monastery in the basement. They've also got a dead parrot on the bar. He's a grey parrot that used to swear in 23 languages, so when he died they stuffed him. And they've got the chair that belongs to Dr. Samuel Johnson. Just off to the left, the Black Ruby Anchor, as we call it. This was once the home of the Daily Express paper. Sadly, they never opened the curtains, because if they did, you'd see a wonderful gold and silver interior. As I said, none of the newspapers are here anymore. But what we're going to do, we're going to go through the lights as we come down Fleet Street. It's named after a tributary of the Thames, the River Fleet, that actually flows left to right in front of us. You won't see it because it's now in a sewer system. Although our current Mayor of Greater London, Boris Johnson, had a great idea. How about we bring it back out the sewer system? So he wanted the river to flow down here again. It would cause a bit of a problem with the traffic. So I think he shelved that idea. So as we go through the lights, we're going slightly up an incline, Ludgate Hill. Why? Well, tradition has it, London is built on 7 hills just like Rome. It was founded by the Romans 2,000 years ago as a trading centre, trading in things like hunting dogs, cereal crops, gold, tin, lead and slaves, because the English made good slaves. In exchange, they gave us a few things I'll tell you about in a moment, because on the left you've got the Old Bailey, the Central Criminal Court. What did they give us in exchange? Wine, olive oil and fish sauce. They opened the first, what we today know as the pub, so the taverna. So they opened that. But what we're going to do is going to try and stop at this large building that is straight ahead of us. It is St. Paul's Cathedral. Now this is the 5th cathedral on the site. This one was built between 1675 and 1710. The statue on the left with a lady with a pigeon on her head is Queen Anne, or Brandy Man as we call her. Oh, the pigeon's just flown off. Surrounded by her dominions. She was the queen when this church was consecrated in 1710. And she's a very sad character. She's the last of her dynasty when she died in 1714. She had 18 children, and not one of them lived past their 11th birthday. Now, St. Paul's has just undergone a major cleaning works. They spent £40 million cleaning it. If you look immediately right, you'll look down across towards the Waverley Bridge. Lots of people on the bridge that takes you across to the Tate Modern Gallery of Art. And for the Harry Potter fans amongst you, the Death Eaters blew that bridge up. One of the more recent Harry Potter movies. What we're going to try and do is stop, which is rather difficult here because there's a lot of us. Are you going to go around the corner?